Hey YouTube violinists, in today's video we're going to be talking about Ray Chen's recent string debacle in the middle of Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto, and we're going to dive in how you can avoid that situation, and if you are in that situation, what you need to do. Stick around to the end of the video, you don't want to miss this. So we've all heard by now that Ray Chen, super famous mega violinist in the world, he popped a string in the middle of Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto. And it's actually a very scary feeling to have popped the string in the middle of a performance, as he said right in this clip.
Asked me what I was feeling like as I broke my string in the Tchaikovsky. I have to say it was really scary because that passage is just, there's no place for you to hand off the violin. So I was really trying to figure out whether or not I could continue in that moment before handing off my violin immediately to Noah. So that was pretty terrifying.
It sure is a very scary experience. I know that has happened to me, and I'm sure that if you're watching this video, it might have happened to you. What do you do in a situation where your string pops and you're in the middle of a very exposed piece of the concerto or a piece, of anything? Well, first and foremost, you do exactly what Ray Chen does in the video. Right over here, he pops the string and then he gives his violin to a member of the orchestra. He traded violins with the concertmaster, and then the concertmaster traded that violin to the assistant concertmaster. So that way, the concertmaster can continue leading, Ray Chen can continue playing his solo, and all of it was kind of happening in real time. And it was a very awkward, exposed kind of moment in the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto where there was not much happening in the orchestra section, but super exposed for the violin. And I think Ray Chen, bravo to you for handling it the way you did, because it was, at that point you could only improvise so much. The orchestra kept going. So yeah, first things first, if you pop a string on stage and you're in the middle of an orchestra performance, give it to the concertmaster right away. That concertmaster will either tune the violin or give the violin to the assistant, which is what happened in the clip. But not many people are talking about this one detail, where what happens if you're on stage and you need to change the strings of the violin? Well, that is where the assistant concertmaster plays a huge role. And the reason for that is that the assistant concertmaster usually or should carry a set of brand new or used strings in their pocket or nearby, for the sole reason that a string can pop and you need to change the violin strings right away.
And as a matter of fact, you can see here, Ray Chen is actually grabbing strings from his pocket and giving it to the fourth chair of the first violin section. So yeah, it's very handy to have an extra pair of strings.
The next question is, how do you keep your composure during that kind of moment? I know for me, I'm going to talk about my own personal experience and how I have dealt through that. Sometimes you just got to push through it. There is no way to kind of battle it. At that point, you're battling your fight or flight mode. You are definitely fighting here, and you just have to make do with what you got. I remember I was playing the Schubert String Quintet, third movement, first violin, and I was ba-ba, clack. It was just like the humidity in the air. I was playing an outdoor performance many years ago, and my string kind of just popped, and there was no other way for me to stop the performance. I just kind of had to do everything either an octave down or play in thirds or whatever this case may be. My E string popped, so I was using with the majority of my A, D, and G. So it's always a very nerve-wracking situation, and you kind of have to ignore what's happening in real time, and you have to focus solely on the performance and making music, because that is actually going to distract you from being nervous, believe it or not. And I think that's what Ray Chen did so brilliantly. And as he said in the video, he was nervous, and it's kind of a terrifying experience. But bravo to him for being a champ and playing through Tchaikovsky. Let me know in the comment section below, have you experienced a string failure on stage? I want to get this conversation going in the comment section. And if we're meeting for the first time, my name is Eric. I'm a violinist. I do a lot of violin content on this channel. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, so that way you get notified for when new videos come out. It also helps me out as a content creator to provide more of these videos for you. And please be sure to check out other videos on the channel. I'm going to leave links right over here so that way you can take a look at them. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.